Well, welcome to our post-premiere panel discussion of The Secret Ingredient with John Arena. Thank you, Tommy Schneider, for creating this wonderful series. It's really a beautiful, beautiful series you've created.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to have a nice little panel discussion after the episode aired, which I hope you all enjoyed it. We're going to have a little discussion with Tommy Schneider, the owner of Tommy's Pizzeria there in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, who created this series. And then the subject of the series, we have John Arena, and he is co-founder of Metro Pizza in Las Vegas, Truly Pizza in Dana Point, California, and he is just a pizza industry icon and a mentor and inspiration to many. Okay, so I am executive editor at Pizza Today, Denise Greer, and along with me is my Pizza Today awesome team. So we have senior editor Kate Lavin and our editor-in-chief, Jeremy White. Thanks so much for joining us as well in this panel. We appreciate it.
Denise, thanks for having us. Kate, I love the purple glasses. You're bringing the heat today already. I haven't even asked a question yet.
Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you so much for everyone coming onto this panel. And you know what? I'm going to throw it to Jeremy to ask that first question about the series.
I love getting asked the first question. It's
I
like when I open a
know.
new jar of peanut butter, that first bite of the jar is heaven. So this is kind of like that. Tommy, man, I knew you were an amazing pizza maker and a wonderful human being. I did not know you were a great filmmaker. And this episode, just well done. Kudos to you. Really well done. And I guess I
Thank you.
just wanted to start off by, look, you're busy enough. You're running a business. I,
Mhm.
I don't know how you had the time to do this, but what's the genesis? What made you want to embark on this project? And then we all know why you chose John for your first episode, but tell us anyway, why did you choose
Sure.
Arena for your first episode?
I'll get to why I chose John in a second, but everyone in the world loves pizza. It's known in the world that pizza is one of the most popular foods out there. And everyone's always wondering what the secret ingredient is to the best pizza. Obviously, ingredients play a factor, but what my docu-series is about is I'm showcasing the people who have dedicated their entire lives to pizza. They have sacrificed so much. And the restaurant industry, it's hard on families, it's hard on relationships, it's hard on personal time. But all these people that I've done the docu-series with, they all thank pizza for the life that it's given them. And they respect pizza so much that they'll never stop trying to be better. They'll never stop trying to learn. And, John and Tony and everyone, they're all trying to share it with the world. They're sharing their knowledge to make pizza better. And so I want to show the world in return that why they are the best pizza makers in the world. And the docu-series is called The Secret Ingredient. What if the secret ingredient to the best pizza in the world is the people that are making it, the people behind it? So, John, one of the reasons I wanted to do an episode on John is he's one of the biggest influencers in the pizza industry, and everyone knows that. And he's always willing to help everyone, and he's always there for everyone. But he has this idea that it's not just about me; it's about we. And you know, Tony as well. And he had a pizza school, and he was teaching people, and they're both huge advocates for the we and not me thing. And they were a huge part of the WPC, and all the work that all these people are putting in is it's just amazing. So I just want to show the world what I got brought into. I got invited to be on the pizza team, and that was one of the most incredible things that's ever happened to me. Like, I got to come in to see this pizza world. When we go to Expo, when we see these magazines you guys are putting out, and the hard work and dedication of all these people that are devoting their lives to pizza, I just want people to see it. They deserve it, and they deserve the hard work they're putting it in, and the world deserves to see why these people are the best pizza makers out there. So.
Absolutely. So, John, how did you feel about, seeing yourself in a documentary style type of series? What was it like to have that experience?
Well, as the saying goes, I have a face for radio, so it's a little weird, little bit strange. But I think what he is doing is really important. Not just the spread of knowledge, but also as a historical document, it's important. Imagine if we have film of the early greats of pizza from the early 1900s and see them and hear what their thoughts were on pizza. We don't have that. We have it now, and Tommy is the perfect person to do that because he's he's currently very engaged in the craft and moving the craft forward, but he's also very respectful of what came before him. So this was a great opportunity for me to participate in that.
And what were things that you really wanted to make known when you found out that he was going to include you in these episodes? Like what was something that you really wanted to make sure people knew about this craft that you love?
The most important thing I think for people to understand is that this is an honored craft that has traditions, but also needs to be completely reinventing itself year after year in order to stay viable. And we have to be good stewards of those traditions, and also good stewards of the future of our craft in guiding people forward and making this a viable career for people that really love it and not just a job on their way to something else.
One of my favorite parts was when you two made the pizza together, the 5-day rise Sicilian
Yes.
pizza. How did you decide that that's the one that you wanted to do for the camera?
For me, that's the one that I get the most questions about. That, and of course the micro blistering at our other pizzeria, Truly. But those are the things that people are most interested in, and with a little guidance, they can do them. They can do them in their own pizzerias or at home. So I thought that was the most compelling thing to teach, and the thing that's probably what we're most known for.
I could tell by the way that you talked about the pan that you chose and how long the dough sits out before you put it in the pan, that you've been working on this a long time. How many years have gone into that recipe?
Um, well over 10 years in its current iteration. Chris Decker and I, worked side by side for almost 30 years. And when we put something in our brains, it's hard to let it go. So, we had this idea that like a lot of those pizzas that are being done as a representation of that style are really not that good. How do we make it better? And that's really, Chris has this saying, take it one step further, one step further. And if we do that with every aspect of our pizza careers and every aspect of our lives, if we're always willing to take that extra step, that's the difference between mediocrity and excellence. You see that with Tony all the time. Why is Tony so great? Because whatever detail he's involved in, he takes it one step further than everybody else.
Yeah.
It's never too much of a burden if it's going to lead to a better outcome.
I love it. It's that continual striving to do better. It's being never satisfied or never quite, perfection. You know that you'll never achieve perfection, but how close can I get to perfection? Tommy, did you have to twist John's arm to do this project? When we had the 40th Pizza Expo, and I called John and said, was going to ask you to be the keynote speaker last year and didn't because we wanted to wait until the 40th. We want you to be the keynote speaker at the 40th. And John's response were, how many people told you no before you called me? John's very
Honesty.
humble. John's very humble. Did you have to twist his arm to do this project?
I did not. He was
Good.
very open to it. He does anything anybody needs. And I
Yes.
appreciate that. I'm really honored that he would be able to do this with me. And he took the time to do it and answered all the questions. And I think it's going to be really good. And it's going to tell his story a little bit. And, it's this history. This is it.
I
It's an
love that.
amazing history, and it's definitely worth telling.
Absolutely. I love that. So when you guys were filming, how long did it actually take to film that episode? Because it's a pretty much hour-long series
Yeah.
episode. So how long did that take sitting in your shop, John, to make that happen?
We were in the shop probably 3 or 4 hours, but there's also footage in there that's from Expo, some great footage from Expo, some great footage of our colleagues. So I'm sure, I don't know how many hours he ended up with to work with, but I'm sure there was 10 or 12 hours of footage that he had to edit down and make
Yeah.
decisions about. So, you guys know a lot of work goes into producing a magazine or producing
Yeah.
a cinematic piece or
Mhm.
instructional video. So there's a lot of work there. But Tommy is the guy that anytime you need help, you look around and he's already there before you ask. So there was no way that I was going to say no to him. I don't care if it would have taken 100 hours.
Yeah.
You know, we've done events together in New York at Pizza Expo, just walking around New York together. He's the guy that just quietly shows up and is ready to help. So nobody's going to say no to Tommy.
Thanks, John.
I
Um,
love it.
what was it like trying to film in the kitchen? Was it kind of a tight space?
I think it was pretty good. I had two camera guys with me. They both own their own companies, and it was just me and these two camera guys, and they're really talented, and I appreciate them very much. And yeah, their John's team was very, helpful with letting us film in there, and it was great. It was cool that we had people working in the background too. We did isolate some of the sound in the final, when we finally put the final part of the episode together. But there was background noises and stuff. I didn't know if I should cut that out or not. I thought that'd be cool, but yeah, we definitely had hours of footage, and we went to the Pizza Expo, we went to the San Francisco Pizza Fest, and I'm not going to stop filming these things and being able to add it in to the other episodes as well. So yeah, we got a lot of good stuff coming, and I'm excited for it. So
Tommy, something you're surely learning as a filmmaker now is the filming's the easy part. It's
Yeah.
the editing is where the work is. You have hours and hours and hours of footage, um,
yeah,
and you have to pare it down to 30 minutes or 60 minutes or whatever format you're going for. You have to
yeah,
decide what to cut, what to keep, and it's grueling. That's the
mhm,
hard work right there. That's behind the scenes stuff that no one
yeah,
sees. How many hours of your time have you put into the project? Not to mention resources, right? You don't just get on a plane and
yeah,
go to Las Vegas for free. You don't take two
mhm,
cameramen
mhm,
for free. You don't hire an editor for free. So this is a
yeah,
big investment of time and money on your
mhm,
part to get these stories out.
yeah. I agree. Yeah, I think for Tony's episode, we probably spent at least 80 to 100 hours on it. And same with John's, probably something close to that. Like both these episodes were well over an hour, and we had to get it down to something that, more reasonable of a time. But I could make these episodes 2 hours long. They have so much knowledge, they have so many interesting, cool things to talk about. But yeah, we definitely narrowed it down, and I would say each episode had over 600 frames, and you have to decide what camera angle you're going to use. You have to decide what the coloring is going to be. You have to decide which part you're going to cut, and like, how do you know what to cut? So I hope I did everybody proud, and that's just my main goal is to, they've taught me so much, and I hope that I can make them proud in doing so. So
I think you have, based on the premiere. I think you have.
okay, right
Yeah.
on. Thank you.
I think it's such a beautiful series. And I'll ask you this, John, when you are inside of your shop and you're talking to Tommy, um, you know, what was your feelings about sharing? Like how did you kind of go through the process of really putting your mind, out on film?
Well, little known secret, my degree in university was filmmaking.
What?
Yeah.
Surprise! Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
So I kind of anticipated what Tommy was going to do and what he wanted to do and what he wanted to accomplish. And my feeling always in anything that I do in pizza is responsibility.
Hmm.
How do we live up to our responsibility to everybody that's going to come after us? And how do we live up to our responsibility to everybody that came before us? How do we honor that? So the rest is easy. When you love something and you've lived that story your whole life, it's not hard to tell that story.
I love that. That's amazing.
Is there anything from your experience with the filmmaking degree that you put into practice in your shop in terms of, processes or one thing to another, the order of how things happen?
Everything, everything, because
Yeah.
Tommy can tell you that when you're engaged in filmmaking, you have to be paying attention to every detail, not just what's in the center of the frame, but what's on the periphery as well. So there are a lot of parallels. Besides the fact that a good pizzeria, a good restaurant, a good business is like a movie set. You're conscious of you're conscious of the sound, the lighting, the feel,
Yeah.
what the guest is experiencing, how you can see it from a different perspective, because you don't have to you're not just seeing it looking out into the restaurant. You're also trying to see it from the perspective of the guest when they walk in the door. What are they seeing? So as a filmmaker, I'm sure Tommy has to think that too. It's not just about what the subject is seeing and responding to, but also what the audience is going to see. So we have guests, he has an audience, and it's really a similar parallel.
Mhm.
That's so cool.
That's amazing. Beautiful. Now I want to put that into an article at some point of how it's like filmmaking, the operation of a pizzeria. That's amazing. So are there any moments from the episode that you hope people really take away kind of powerfully? Like, is there anything um that you really hope people can take away from this episode?
Is that for Tommy or for me?
For either one of you. Actually, for both of you.
You want to go
Let's start
first,
with
John?
you, John.
Hey, I'd like to take people to take away from it that this is an honored craft and that you have to be serious about it. You can have fun with it, but you have to also be respectful of it. Tony says it best, respect the craft, respect what we do, and be mindful of what you're leaving behind.
Yeah, I think I agree with everything John said. And for me, it's about honoring the people before me. That's what John said. And, you know, I they deserve so much. They've really changed the game. And what I think people need to take away from everything is that working together is better than working against each other. I think we talked about in our episode, people used to hide what was in their garbages and stuff so people wouldn't know what ingredients they're using. But you guys have been in the pizza industry for longer than I have, for a long time. Have you guys noticed how much the industry has changed and how everyone's willing to work together now? Like we're on the WPC team, sure, but there's the what's the US pizza team. Every single person on that team is so nice. Like they all work together. They're all helpful. I had Jason and another guy help me when I was first starting to compete. They were,
Mhm.
everyone is so nice in this industry, and it's just been really nice to watch. I've been in it for a decade now. I've been going to pizza expos and being a part of the pizza industry, but it's just truly amazing to watch what John and Tony and all these other people have been able to accomplish. And I think the pizza industry has changed in a positive way, and I think it's only going to get better. And I think working together is the answer. So,
It's important too to remember for all of us remember that if we were doing this just on our own in our shops, we'd have a limited range or limited audience to capture that philosophy. Because of Pizza Expo, because of Pizza Today magazine, all of this happens on an international stage.
Yeah.
If we were just trying to spread that message to our staff, be nice to your neighbors, be nice to your colleagues, it would go so far. Doing it on a world stage, and it wasn't easy at the beginning. And I was there at the beginning. A lot of people weren't buying into it. It was the outliers, the early adapters that really bought into the spirit of what Pizza Expo and Pizza Today were supposed to be about. And it
Yeah.
took 4 decades for it to really come to fruition. But then, as you said earlier, when COVID happened, everybody realized how much we were all in this together.
Yeah.
And you can remember the excitement, the love when everybody got together again. It was like a family reunion where people were, just like embracing, not literally, of course, but figuratively embracing each other again, and realized how wonderful it is for all of us to be together.
I got goosebumps because I really felt that like when we got together at Pizza Expo after we had not had a Pizza Expo with the pandemic, it just I just have goosebumps from it. Now that we have, you have this beautiful archive, Tommy, of what of what these influential people in this industry have done and that they are the secret ingredient, you know, how are you going to move this forward into, what are you going to do with it?
Honestly, I'm just hoping that the most people can see it and the pizza
Yeah,
industry as a whole can realize, hey, this is what's happening, and if we work together, things can be better and it can be more fun and more enjoyable. And yeah,
that's awesome. Well, I'll end it on this question just because it's kind of a fun question. But the were there any funny bloopers or anything just silly that happened while you were filming in John's place? Or John, was there anything silly that that kind of transpired?
you
You
probably
know,
just gotta wait for the reels to come out and see what we got. I'm
uh-oh.
just kidding. I'm just kidding. Go ahead, John. Go ahead. What were you gonna say? Sorry.
Tommy came in so well prepared, and over the years, I've had an opportunity to do a pretty fair number of shoots like this. But when you're working with somebody that's really just totally organized, and it shows in Tommy's pizza making too. You know, the kind of pizza maker he is also the kind of filmmaker that he is.
Hmm.
He comes in ready to go. So there's it reduces the margin of error when you have
Hmm.
somebody that's totally prepared. So hopefully
And
the
you're always ready. You're always on, John.
hopefully the blooper reel's not too embarrassing.
It won't be for you. It won't be for yours, but it
It won't be from yours.
won't be for yours. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
one thing I did miss is you really did a beautiful job capturing kind of that taste of vision, even smell of vision of that pizza when as you were making it, as it came
Right.
out, and as you were tasting it. What did that pizza taste like? I just I want it now.
I can smell it right now. Like I think I even said in the episode, I could smell that cheese he was shredding on. We both smelled the basil. I don't think there's a time where I don't see a fresh thing of basil and I don't smell it. That's
Yeah.
just what we do. And I think that I'm trying to show from a pizza maker's perspective. I'm trying to make the pizza beautiful. To me, pizza is art, you
Yeah,
know, and I think I just want to showcase their art, and I hope I'm doing it in the best way possible. So, yeah.
that's awesome. Any final words on the series, John, on your episode?
Let's not talk about my episode. Let's talk about the next episodes, which are going to be unbelievable.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
I
so
can't wait to see what's coming next. There are some really heavy hitters. It was smart to start with John and
And Tony.
Tony in the next several episodes. It's going to be amazing. Tommy, you're doing a really great job with this.
Thank you.
Kudos to you, and thank you for taking the time and the energy and the resources to do this. What's the hope for this project when it all wraps up?
The hope for it is that, you know, the people that have dedicated their whole lives to their craft are going to get the showcase they deserve, and I want people to see that because it's so amazing what I get to see every time I go to Expo and when I go to the restaurants and what they've created and the sense of community they have in their community. John has the John Arena Foundation now, which is helping people with pizza, which is incredible. There's so many different things that pizza can do. It gives you
Mhm.
such an amazing life, such an amazing opportunities. We travel the world for pizza. Some
Mhm.
of the trips me and John have gone on and the relationships and bonds you make with these people because of pizza is like I have friends for life now. We've all been through the same thing. We've all created pizza brands. We're all trying to grow. We're all trying to be better. We're all trying to learn. We're all trying to share our knowledge. And I think that's the beauty of it. Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, we cannot wait for the next episodes, and John, we
Yeah.
cannot wait for more and more people to watch your episode and see the beautiful vision you have for pizza and what you've created because it's so stunning to watch.
well, thank you. I'm just trying to get a base hit because I know Tony will be up next and he'll hit a home run and knock me into the home plate.
Modesty.
Baseball's a team sport. You need people to help you get to the plate, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, take care, guys. Thanks for
Thank you.
joining me on this panel. And I hope everyone, get a rewatch in. If you are seeing this panel and you haven't watched the episode, please go back and watch the episode provided here. So thanks so much. And we'll look forward to Tommy's next episode of The Secret Ingredient.